Hey everyone, it's Kimber Schaefer here with Rage in the Ring OKC, and we're so excited. We're here at Wilshire Gun Range talking all things Rage in the Ring 1. It's going down February 25th at Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton. And, you know, this is our first interview for boxing for Rage in the Ring 1. And I was just saying, you were one of my very first interviews I did for Rage in the Cage about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of come full circle. We've grown a lot. You've grown a lot as a person. So I'm excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a good time. I get to hit people. It's always fun.
When I was just saying as well, so many things have changed in that time. Back then, we interviewed at the Lighthouse, which was my home gym at the time, and they so gracefully allowed me that space. Now the Lighthouse is being run, of course, by the Weight Room, who is a Rage in the Cage sponsor. So the Lighthouse is once again the home to not only me, but also to all Rage in the Cage fighters. So
very cool.
Very interesting how life has its twists and turns, and you end up back where you started sometimes.
It's all circular. It's all circular.
Let's talk a little bit about you. Obviously, you are a multi-sport fighter.
Yes, ma'am.
You've fought mixed martial arts. Have you done kickboxing as well?
Since I have not done pro kickboxing yet, back in my amateur days, I did do amateur kickboxing for it was for Scott Conan's show, the Kickboxing for Breast Cancer event. Did that. But as a pro, not yet. I haven't done kickboxing yet.
Well, and something interesting I learned about you today is Dee Birchfield told me that you actually got your start in mixed martial arts through karate. So tell me a little bit about that background.
Yeah, I just started karate in Weatherford, Oklahoma at Chris Pullman's Karate Academy. Got my first degree in Goju-Ryu from him. And actually, since this fight's going to be in Hinton, my very first MMA fight ever was in Hinton, Oklahoma. We helped start the MMA out there. It was me and our gym and some local guys, and now it's blown up, and now it's pretty big. And so we're going to go out there and put them to shame with a boxing match, and just kind of going back to my roots. It's a good time. It'll be fun.
It is a good time. Rage in the Ring 1 is definitely going to be a good time. And, you know, you are 1-1 as a boxer.
Yes, ma'am.
You've taken a little bit of time off MMA to improve your jiu-jitsu, it sounds like.
Yes, ma'am.
1-1 as a boxer. What can you tell me so far about your pro boxing career?
Well, I won one and I lost one. The one I won was down in Dallas. I can't remember the guy's name. But the one I lost was to Randy Blake, who we should all know. I mean, it's Randy Blake, a championship kickboxer, all that. Great guy. The only man to ever hit me in the body, and I didn't like it. It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, I like boxing. It's fun. Don't got to worry about getting taken down. You just get to go in there and throw hands, have a good time. It's awesome.
Well, you're fighting Twan Smith, and he is training out of Western Avenue Boxing, which is obviously a prestigious boxing gym here in this parts of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, do you know anything about your opponent?
Nothing. I don't know anything. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't know anything about him. I haven't really been able to find anything about him, which is cool. And don't mean to offend you if I'm sounding nonchalant, but we're fighters. So.
You're not one to do a lot of research and base your game plan on that research, are you?
Well, I'm very fortunate. I've been involved in Oklahoma MMA for a long time, so I just kind of know everybody, or know enough people I can kind of hear. So I mean, as far as research goes, no, I'm not going to stay up for hours researching the guy. I'll call somebody, hey bud, you know this guy? And if they do, great. If they don't, a plan is just to let things go wrong anyway. So it's kind of whatever.
Well, and like you said, you've been around for a long time in MMA, but, you know, I obviously started the Rage in the Cage media team. Mm-hmm. It was actually 3 years and a couple of months ago.
Has it been that long?
It has been that long, I know. But, you know, just thinking back to how MMA was before that time, I mean, you couldn't research a fighter back then as far as seeing footage or video or interviews or getting to know a fighter. How do you think, and not to boast about Matt and I and what we've been able to do, but, you know, how do you find it different now being able to compare the two, because you were a fighter before that time and now after, and being able to find out information about your fighters?
It's very useful. It has a lot of advantages on multiple facets. I mean, on one side, as a fighter, it's useful because I can find reliable information about guys I'm going to fight or guys my teammates are going to fight. On the other side, it helps us get our names out there to, you know, the big time, you know, UFC or other sponsors or yada yada yada. So it's really on both sides of the game. It's very, very helpful. Very helpful.
You know, I can remember back to the very first time we met Dee Birchfield, who is now matchmaking for Rage in the Cage, and he he had never fought for Rage in the Cage at the time, and I did his pre-fight interview, and at the end of it, I will never forget it, Lamont was standing right next to him. He's like, it's the Rage in the Cage experience. I have never experienced something like this before. He said, you made me feel like a star. And he said, I just felt he felt so good after that. And of course, he's on board with us now, working with us. But
That's good.
honestly,
Oh, yeah.
he may have just matched your fight. So, you're very comfortable in front of the camera, though. So, how do you ever get nervous in these kind of interviews?
I'm a narcissist, so no. I love the sound of my own voice and seeing myself on screen. No, I'm kidding. No,
I was like really going for that one. Okay.
No, I bartended and waited tables and bounced, and I fought for a long time and taught martial arts. So as far as like talking to people and everything, I may not be good at it, but I'm comfortable with it. So I mean, it's just part of the game. You can't just fight and not do this part too. You know, I mean, I guess you can, but no one will like you.
As far as interesting things, not talking fighting now, I mean, you traveled to Ireland here recently, had a baby, recently married, a lot going on in your life, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just bought a house and actually I was late today because a water line busted in the house and I was having to fix that and all that good. And then the baby needed diaper change and all that good stuff. And the wife started yelling, throwing stuff at me. I mean, it's the life. Like you get a good time. I'm kidding. None of that happened. No, the water line did bust though. That was fun. You know, joys of a homeowner.
Art Parker now changing diapers. I mean, you're no longer just a pro boxer and pro MMA fighter. You are now a pro diaper changer.
I wouldn't say pro. I make a mess.
Remind me not to be near when you're changing a diaper.
It's bad.
Well, any last words, any shout outs before we head out?
My wife and kids, love y'all. My team at American Elite in Edmond and Deer Creek, sponsor at JoJo's in Yukon, and everybody, and Twan Smith, I'll see you in the ring. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of having a good one is going down February 25th in Rage in the Ring 1, Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton. You guys are not going to want to miss this. This is going to be a history-making card. Rage in the Cage, we plan to change up things and bring Rage in the Ring something new to Oklahoma. So join us February 25th. Tickets from any fighter on the card or ticketstorm.com, and we will see you then.